You had a great year. I mean, a great year.
Thank you.
Like, best rookie receiver in football this year.
Appreciate that.
Right? What was the NFL experience like? Like, you came from Ohio State, big-time program, right? Had people like me going, I don't know how good he's going to be. I'm not sure, right? I underrated you, obviously. But, like, just speak to the experience of the NFL and what it was like playing.
I mean, it was awesome, man. It's definitely a different beast than college. You come in and I got in April, so May and June, all that was a transition period for me. It took some time, and it's a different speed of the game. The offense is different. It's more wordy, so you got to be really detailed.
Right.
And
thinking as you're walking out of the huddle,
exactly.
You're like, wait, what am I doing here?
Yeah, and that messed with me. I'm used to playing fast, and I wasn't really able to do that initially. And it was for me. It was finding that comfortability in the offense so that I can go out there and just play fast.
What was
when
hard?
did it click?
Oh, sorry,
when was the moment?
Honestly, up until preseason, when we started doing joint practices and we practiced against the other team, going against people like Sauce and stuff like that too, had messed with my confidence a little too. I didn't know what the rest of the cornerbacks looked like. So whenever I got to go against the Giants and the Eagles and Atlanta in joint practice, that was a confidence boost for me too, because I could realize, all right, Sauce is one of one.
Oh, and they don't know your plays and haven't seen you every day,
exactly.
so you're like, damn, Sauce knows what's coming here. This isn't fair.
Stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
right.
for me, that was huge. I would say right around preseason is when it clicked for me.
All right, so there's the mental aspect you were kind of talking about. Physically, like what jumped out to you about the NFL game?
Yeah.
What was the aspect of just explain on that?
Yeah, I mean, every Sunday I was just happy I wasn't a running back. Happy I wasn't a quarterback running back. I mean, in between those tackles and the trenches, it's crazy,
right?
Man.
Right.
I mean, honestly, and
even different than big time college football, right? Explain
yeah.
that. So sometimes I think people think it's the same.
No, it's not the same. I
Right.
mean, just the level of some of these are grown men. A lot of them are. So the size of them and then the strength, that combination of that and going against each other. I mean, it's loud. You can hear it on the sideline.
Yeah.
And, man, it's just I'm a little dude, and I had to figure out, all right,
I don't want to go
avoid
there.
that. Exactly, I got to avoid
Right.
that and stay out of the piles, and it's definitely a different beast than college.
Right.
Give me one word to describe the 2022 Jets.
Close. I'll say close.
Yeah.
I feel like we're right there. We're being able to finish, some games and finish drives away from being in the playoffs, and who knows what happens once we get there, So for me, I would say close, and I feel like we all know we're close. It's just about taking that next step now,
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, the elephant in the room, we know what that is, right? The quarterback situation, right? What's your like assessment? I saw the things you said about Zach Wilson during the year. I mean, you spoke highly of his talents and all that, but we also saw there was some mistakes and some bad reads and whatever else. Like, where do you think that situation kind of goes here as we go into the future?
Yeah, I mean, the best thing about it is we're all young. We got a young
right.
team. He's still young, and for us, it's we're gonna stick by Zach no matter what. That's our dog. That's a guy, and we know that he's got that ability. And yeah, for me, I try to simplify the game and just worry about, all right, let me just do my job.
Yeah, I
who's
got you.
out there and
Right.
catch the ball as well as possible. I'd simplify it. Don't not worry about that. And that's the mindset I'm gonna take into next year. But I love Zach, and I'm confident that he's gonna get there, man.
Well, Wilson to Wilson just sounds too damn good,
yeah,
right?
come on
Okay,
now.
I mean, Wilson's throwing a Wilson to
Come on
Wilson,
now.
right? That sounds too good, right? I mean, but one more, let me just follow up.
Right.
What about, like, do you feel like that situation was like kind of the Bears game right there last? Like, it just seemed like that situation led to the downfall of the team a little bit. Like, it overtook the locker room, the media, all of that. Did it feel like that as a player in the locker room?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it did. We're all young dudes, and people are lying if they say they didn't see the reports and
Right. You're
they're
aware.
lying. Yeah,
right.
exactly. You're
right.
aware of what's going on, and we didn't know. We didn't always know who was going to be quarterback at practice, and it changes the approach to practice and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It changes the approach to the week.
Right.
And that's just the reality of it. But we tried to make the most of it. We tried to have the right mindset on it, that we're going to go get it no matter what. But the reality of it is, it probably did mess with it a little bit.
Right.
And,
The guy who
I
owns
think
the
that's fair.
team, Woody Johnson, has said clearly one of the top priorities is find a veteran quarterback. How closely are you paying attention? Will you pay attention to which way it goes? Because there's names floating around out there: Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo, and others. Do you follow that? Do you care? I mean, how do you properly engage in this change that could be coming?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I see all that stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I see all of it. And initially, I see the Aaron Rodgers thing, and I'm waiting on it to happen. We hired Hackett, and I'm waiting on it to happen. And now I'm just like, all right, let me just let all of it play out.
Right.
So like I said, I just want to make sure I can do my job to the best of my ability, and no matter who's taking those snaps. And for me, I'm coming this offseason, ready to work, ready to build a relationship with whoever's at, a quarterback. And, excited to learn a new offense as well and see where we're at next year because we know we're close and we know that, the offensive side of the ball was what let us down last year. And we want to make sure that, that's not the case next season.
I want to hear, we know you're an awesome receiver, but now I want to hear you sell me on Old Spice. That's what I want. What are you selling me?
Because I got 10 of those T-shirts and I got 20 of those things in my house and I use them all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this stuff right here is great. I've been using this since I was 7, 8. Probably not 8. Probably like 12.
10 or 12,
yeah, 12
right.
years
You didn't have any BO at 8.
Nah,
you weren't there yet.
You're right. But, yeah, man, when I'm out there playing, the last thing I want to do is be worrying about how I smell. It's the pressure of the game, lights on. And for me, I just want to be focused on ball. So, using products like this and Old Spice Swagger, it's been awesome to work with them. And I'm just blessed to be able to work with them and use products like this. And I'm really excited to get it out there.
You got swagger.
Hey, appreciate
you. You got swagger. I know you do. Hey, you're getting all technical on me. I can't even. He got me there.
You're the old man now. You're the old man. You don't know the
traditional.
moves. I've never seen that.
Traditional.
It's good that you care about how you smell on the field. I've heard stories over the years. Some of the guys may not smell all that great, and that's part of their arsenal. They try to keep guys away from them by coming out there extra stinky if they can.
See, I would sell them this right here. Give them this right here.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
Back to Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
There have been mixed reports on this as well, as to whether he's even going to be on the team next year. Are you confident he's going to be on the team no matter who gets added as a veteran quarterback?
Yeah, I'm confident Zach will be on the team. I'm confident he's going to play good ball next year, no matter what happens. I'm confident he's going to play good ball when his time comes, he's going to be ready. And, he would probably have the same confidence in me, and that's the type of, relationships we want to have in our locker room. We're all confident in each other, and we understand that people got to do what they got to do to keep their job and put food on the table for their family. But I'm confident Zach's going to be there next year and ready to play when his time comes for sure.
All right, I always love to ask young guys, you were awesome about your experience in the NFL. Who was that guy you saw this year where you're like, man, he was awesome, or just shocked you, like that one player? Yeah. Or it didn't even have to be against you. Maybe he was on the other offense where you were just like,
and here's a lesson in broadcasting. Yeah. We got 1 minute until we're off the air. So just so you know, we're going to land the plane with Jets receiver Garrett Wilson. Go ahead.
Awesome. Nick Chubb.
Chubb.
Yeah, we played against them week 2. And, game we shouldn't have won.
Right.
He was probably the main reason for that.
Right.
Just impressive to watch hurdling and we get hit in the air.
How big he is, how thick he is, right?
I've never seen a running back that good. But, we played some great players this year. And, yeah, man.
But he was the one. He was the one where you went, damn, I didn't realize this guy was this guy.
Oh, yeah, he was the one. I'm sure I'll see Mahomes out there and be like, wow, But, yeah, Nick Chubb.
All right, cool. I like it.
Other guys would say Garrett Wilson is the guy they played this year.
That's a blessing.
It really was a great season for you, and we wish you all the best as your career unfolds. Congratulations on the Old Spice hookup. I seriously do have 10 of those T-shirts. Brought some with me on the trip. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.